Let's do this Homestuck thing. So, I've never read this comic Homestuck ever. I didn't even know. I'd sort of heard of it. And then there was this big pilot, and people were like, it's going to be this big pilot. And there's been a lot of big animated pilots. You look at Bullet Time, you look at your Gaslight District, Amazing Digital Circus, and then Knights of Guinevere. So I do think there was sort of some talk. Why did this not do as well as most of these pilots? And I think I know why. But this isn't a video that's going to be about how this wasn't successful and stuff. It's more how this sort of doesn't work. Although I will say, it looks like people who are playing a video game and people who are living in a video game, and it feels more accurate than something like Free Guy or something. It feels very much like Homestuck is like in a video game world. People who understand video games. It felt very authentic to that. But the score was like a bit much. Like it felt like someone who understood score only, like original scores from big movies and nothing else. Almost like people who only watch Marvel movies or something. I mean, I like the main guy, but I do think like the other pilots we're talking about here sort of let you in, and it felt very much like something that was like, well, you know what Homestuck is. And I'm like, no. And I don't think this let me in. Apparently, like the sort of beta game they're going to play is going to do all this stuff, which you sort of get from it, but I didn't really get, honestly. But it just, and I thought the design, I get that that's like what the design of the comic is, but I felt like even, Pan's pilot was a lot better animated. And this is by vivziepop and all those people. Like, it just felt like the animation wasn't that great. It was mainly for fans and didn't want to be anything else. And honestly felt like kind of weak in the storytelling department. It felt like too much because there's like a pent up thing to make it. I'm not really someone who's against vivziepop or anything like that. But I didn't think this was a really smartly directed thing. I thought everyone who's in it was like kind of too... It was honestly like they're smelling their own farts and weren't really thinking about... They weren't opening a window for air. They weren't really thinking about how other people could get into it. And I didn't really feel like if you weren't into it, you would want to watch it at all. And I think that's probably why it didn't do as well. I understand, probably because vivziepop has a big YouTube channel, people were surprised. But I think like you shouldn't be surprised. To me, it's like, I just don't think this was very good. It didn't change my mind. And it feels like kind of a lost opportunity. Because like you look at like, let's say, and I understand it's a very different thing. You look at like the Mario movie. The Mario movie, I know everyone thinks of their own perspective and how their age group felt about it. But for anyone who's younger, it was how they got into Mario. And I don't think this introduced anyone to Homestuck at all. Homestuck. It just made me go, what the fuck is this nerd shit? Leave me alone. Like it just didn't, I don't want to watch another one. I'm not curious what happens next. I actually think the one interesting thing is this is one of the few pilots where I wasn't thinking about the animation at all, which by the way is not a compliment. Like it felt under animated, but overdone. To me, this was kind of bad, dude. Like it's not good. It got a video game thing, but like they didn't really care about me getting into it. And if you're going to put that much money and time and have it be on a bigger animator YouTube cheaters channel, you had an opportunity and you kind of biffed it. You messed it up. You face planted by sort of doing what you thought the fans wanted. And I hope they're happy, although it doesn't seem like from what it's fine. I don't mind if you do it for just the fans, but then why are you investing all this time and energy into it? It's kind of a major misunderstanding of what you can do with it. I just didn't feel like it was very good. And I found it to be a disappointment. And I think like there was a lot of talk like, oh, it didn't do what these did. But I think like part of that is because if someone's like, did you see it? And you go, it's just like, it doesn't make you go. I think the other one's like, oh, you got to see this. This one, it felt like, oh yeah, you got to check. I guess we'll check this one out. This felt like, we're hearing all these. Also, the Knights of Guinevere just coming out, I think. What? Remiku Haruku Shrine said, if it's any consideration, Shim, the pilot represents 130 to 140 pages from the comic in 11 minutes. What the fuck? That's a stupid idea. I definitely get why people aren't checking this out. I think it was sort of a mistake. I think if honestly if you're gonna do, I would just rethink this thing, because think about why people got into it. This was made by fans, and that's all they considered, and I don't think they ended up it seems like the fans didn't love it that much. I sort of look at this as one of the big failures of recent YouTube pilots. I just think it kind of stunk up the place. I wish I think like supposedly it came out like a while ago and stuff like that, but I think they sort of messed up. I think you could do something interesting with it, and there is stuff with like especially showing a video game world very authentically, which I do think we need more in media, but I don't really. I think it was kind of a failure. So I think maybe if you get to adapt it again, think a little bit more about getting people into it, but also think a little bit more about like maybe making a story and not considering condensing it to tell a story quickly. And it just didn't. I don't know. It's like if you wanted to rush to something, understand how to do that organically. It just felt like everything was kind of condensed into a bunch of kind of nonsense. It actually reminded me more of like the show Generation X, or like, the old comic book movies where they try to rush to too much stuff and they say like, oh, it's for the fans, and like the fans are like, I guess thanks. And I think in the end you just go, all right, thanks. I don't think I really want to involve. Maybe if vivziepop didn't want to be involved, like be as connected to it, don't upload it on your YouTube channel. That's confusing. But I think this was kind of one of the worst pilots I've seen recently. And a lot of them have storytelling issues, but they have awesome animation. But this has storytelling issues and not good animation. So what exactly do I have here?